Hi, Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to the Magellan Network Show. For nearly 30 years, I've been focused on helping advisors become the best both personally and professionally. This show is dedicated to sharing with you tools, tips, strategies, distinctions, things that are working now. I'd love for you to take a moment, and if you're watching this on YouTube, click the like button and also the subscribe button so you get automatic updates. And if you happen to be listening to us on a podcast, make sure you're subscribed to the podcast and you leave a positive review for us. Now, with that said, let's get to today's episode. Hi, it's your Coach Joe Lucas, and welcome to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. In this episode, we're going to continue our conversation on our Magellan Network Core 4. Last episode, we talked about why vision is so important. In this episode, we're going to talk about energy and why energy is really so crucial to being successful as an advisor. And also for the next 2 weeks, we're also going to handle the other two elements, which are going to be rituals and mindset, right? So our Magellan Core 4, right? Vision, energy, rituals, mindset. 4 tenets of advisor excellence. So let's jump into today's topic, which is going to be energy. And when I look at my career, almost 30 years, and I think of energy inside of our game, I like to break it up into 3 very specific elements of energy, or types of energy, right? There's going to be what we call physical energy, there's going to be mental energy, and there's going to be emotional energy. And I'm going to explain why all 3 of those are critically important for their own reasons, and then how they work in a very, kind of symbiotic way, right, inside of an advisor. So let's talk about physical energy first. So physical energy is just being vibrant, right? It's what I call gas in the tank. And if you're interacting with people, if you're leading people, if you're leading yourself, it requires physical energy. I hear all the time, our industry, man, it's got an age issue, right? Average age 56, 57, we got an age issue. So no, we don't. We got an energy issue. We have an energy crisis, right? Because advisors are not taking care of themselves. They're not watching what they eat. They're not going to the doctor. They're not hitting the gym. They're not into longevity, right? They spend most of their working careers on their asses sitting down. If you notice here, if you're watching the video, this is the way I roll. Stand-up desk, 8 hours a day, communicating pretty much on Zoom all day, right? Doing what I do. And that's true for most, if not all, of my clients, right? So physical energy is critical. Think about this. There's nothing more devastating and frustrating to have great goals, right? Great vision. And come 1:30, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, you need to take a nap, right? 4 o'clock, you just don't feel like it, or you wake up tired in the morning, right? So in other words, you just don't have the stamina to execute what you want to execute. And when the body is tired, the mind wants to distract itself. So that's where we start surfing. I don't feel like talking to anybody right now, right? So I'm just going to surf the internet under the guise of I'm going to do some research, right? Which is all BS, by the way. You're just procrastinating, right? You don't feel like doing it. So, physical energy, critically important. So how do we go ahead and cultivate physical energy? Nutrition, rest, exercise, and downtime. Renewal days. This industry, ever since COVID, really has suffered from burnout. I see it all the time, right? So a lot of times, and, get correlations, right? I can't correlate getting a CFP to making more money. I can't correlate getting an MBA to make more money, right? I can't even correlate putting more hours in the business to make more money, in most cases. Lose 20 pounds, hit the gym, you'll make more money. You just will, because you'll have more energy to put into your game. Well, I did this program years ago, probably 15, 20 years ago. I talk about the athlete advisor. And the premise at the time was that if advisors view themselves as athletes, right, world-class athletes, like the characteristics, right, well, one of those characteristics is obviously physical fitness, energy, things like that, right? So for many of my clients, and I can think of one gentleman in particular who struggled with his health, struggled with his weight, came to one of my events, was for a company I was doing. I was under contract with a company to do some internal training. And I saw him on the trainings, and I mentioned this. I said, look, I can't correlate CFPs or anything else, but I tell you what, hit the gym, get a personal trainer, eat right, lose weight, be healthier, more energy, more dollars in the bank account. Very simple. Fast forward a year later, doing the training for the same organization, he shows up, or half of him showed up, I should say. He lost 75 pounds in that year. And I looked at him, and I was so excited for him, right? So on one of the breaks, I said, we have to visit. So we talked. And he said, Joe, I really took to heart what you said, because I always say, well, I don't have time to get to the gym. I don't have time for this. I don't have time. I'm so busy in my business. And when I realized that it was a key deliverable of my business, like in other words, the gym and the nutritionist and the doctor were no longer, well, I'll get to it when I get to it, but they became part of my team, became part of my world, part of my universe, right? Then all things changed. And meanwhile, his business was up, 25, 30%. And, fast forward a decade later, he's one of my clients, a rock star, and just crushing it each and every year, right? He'll tell you he didn't get any smarter. He just got healthier with more energy. So physical energy, do not discount this. Do not put this off. It's like, well, I'll get to it, or we got lockdowns and we can, or hey, go take a walk. Go get a rowing machine. Figure it out. You're smart people. Be resourceful. Get answers, right? So physical energy, incredibly important. Next one, mental energy. Now, mental energy is how you take things in and you decide things, right? So how you process information, right? How you make decisions. And you know this, if you had a bad night of sleep, you just don't have a lot of mental energy. Like, your goal is to get through the day. And if you could punt decisions, you'll punt decisions. In other words, you're not all in. You're just trying to get through. So mental energy is really important. Where we get a lot of that mental energy, I'm a big believer in meditation. Really just meditation to me is like stretching the mind. Like you talk about, you stretch the body, right? You stretch it out so you don't injure yourself, things like that. Well, meditation to me is like stretching the mind. It calms it. You let it relax. Very good, right? So mental energy is your ability to process information, make great decisions, right? Mental energy. And again, is this, are they almost hand in hand with physical energy? Yes. It's very challenging to have gobs of mental energy if your body's like betraying you, if you don't feel like it. It normally doesn't work. So mental energy is a lot of times about calming, right? It's about what to focus on. So mental, like you can put a lot of mental energy into the news. You can put a lot of mental energy into Facebook, into Instagram, into LinkedIn, and get no return on that. In fact, it's like a vortex that wants to suck more of it out, right? So mental energy is about conservation, where to deploy it. If you're deploying it in meaningless things like social media, if you're deploying it with meaningless or not the right people, right? They suck it out of you, right? With no return on that investment. You have to guard your mental energy. Not because it's limited. It's just don't want to spend time focusing on the wrong places, right? And I remember I did a podcast several months ago about 3 types of people, right? The people that are like 3 buckets of humans, right? The ones that give you energy and they're great to be around and they're engines to your success. The neutrals, no harm, no foul. And then the ones that are anchors, excuse me, I don't mean to give you the middle finger on that. The ones that really rob you of energy, right? They're thieves. Right? And I got a lot of blowback on that. Like, that's harsh. It's reality. So, yeah, if it sounds harsh, I'm sorry. Not really. It's reality, right? So mental energy, where else we get mental energy is by what we put in our minds. So our mental diet, right? Like we talk about physical energy, right? What we put in our bodies, right? Diet, nutrition, things like that. Well, mental energy is the same thing. What's our mental diet? What are we listening to? What are we reading? Who are we associating with? Has a tremendous impact on our long-term success. So mental energy, you need that second one. Now the third one is emotional energy. And somebody says, well, what's the difference between mental and emotional? Sounds the same. Very different. Here's why. Emotional energy is about your communication, about how you lead people, about how you lead yourself. See, a lot of times advisors think it's all about information. Well, I take care of my clients, they have a financial plan, we've got their asset allocation, we do their tax planning. Yeah, and you sound like a robot. You cannot care deeply about people, whether those people are your family, your friends, your team, your client if you do not have a reserve of emotional energy. Because every time you engage in a conversation with somebody of any kind of meaningfulness, you are taking withdrawals out of that emotional energy bank. Leadership, which this industry never talks about, is all about mental, emotional, and physical energy. If you want to be a great leader, you need all three. And what's fascinating is when I talk to advisors and I said, tell me who you are, what's your identity? Give me some words, right? I'll hear smart, caring, concerned, fiduciary, loving, ethical. The word leader never shows up. Or if it does, it's definitely an afterthought, right? Never shows up in the top 3 to 5. But think about this. All of you are leaders. You have to lead yourself. You have to lead your team. And especially, you have to lead your clients. And if you don't have that identity of leadership inside of your identity, you're missing the boat. And in order to be a great leader, emotional energy, which is communication. And let me rephrase this. It's not just communication, it's influence. So if somebody says, well, Joe, what's a great leader? A great leader is a great influencer. See, managers get people to do stuff based on bribery or threats. Bribery, bonuses, threats. We'll have to replace you. That's a manager. Leaders get people to buy into their vision. And leaders get their team members to get on board because it's for the greater good and their needs are met personally. That requires emotional energy / leadership. So I want you to think about these three and kind of grade yourself 1 to 5, 1 to 10, whatever floats your boat, right? Physical energy, how am I? Mental energy, how am I? Emotional energy, how am I? Now, the last thing I didn't say is how do you cultivate emotional energy? The first two. The third one's a byproduct of the first two. You cannot have massive amounts of emotional energy if you're tapped out physically and you're tapped out mentally. Some people ask me, Joe, how do your clients grow their businesses and take 14, 16, 18 weeks of renewal time a year? How do they do that? Because they're always cultivating their physical, mental, and emotional energy. That is, I don't believe there's a lot of secrets in this game, but here's one. Have more energy, take care of your mind, make sure emotionally you're ready to go, right? All things are possible inside of your game when all three of these energies are at optimal / unlimited levels. I hope this made sense for you. Thank you for watching and listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. And again, I invite you to come on a 14-day trial inside my game, MagellanNetwork.net. And I will see you all next week for number 3 of the 4 tenets of Magellan. Have a great week. Thank you all for listening and watching this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Thank you for watching or listening to this episode of the Magellan Network Show. Hey, if any of this resonated with you, I invite you to come to MagellanNetwork.net, and we have a powerful group coaching community of like-minded advisors. Come in for a trial. You and I will have a one-on-one conversation. Let's see if I can help elevate your game both personally and professionally.